Hello, I'm the Resolute Cartographer, and this is the 13th video in my Mass Effect Legendary Edition series. In the last video, we did the DLC Bringing Down the Sky. In this video, we're going to go ahead and take care of some Geth incursions in the Armstrong Nebula. So, let's get to the map. Okay, leaving behind Asgard and the Exodus Cluster, we are going to head up here. Where is it? There we go.
Message coming in from the brass at Arcturus. Patching it through.
Normandy? Admiral Hackett here. We're getting reports of a marked increase in Geth activity in the Skyllian Verge. Surveillance drones have identified Geth outposts on 4 different planets in the Armstrong Cluster. We need someone to take them out.
We have any idea what they're after?
Hard to say. They may be just gathering intel on us. Or maybe they're setting up staging grounds for hit-and-run attacks on human colonies.
It could be the first wave of an invasion.
Let's hope not. We need someone to investigate this, Shepard. Finding Saren is still your top priority, but you've got experience fighting the Geth. You're the logical choice to take out these outposts. We're transmitting all the locations of known Geth outposts in the Armstrong Cluster to the Normandy now. Admiral Hackett out.
Okay, so we got 4 systems here: Vamshi, Hong, Tereshkova, and Gagarin. So let's start with Gagarin.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, I'm glad you were in the area. We've got an emergency situation, and you're the only one I can trust to get the job done.
How can I help, Admiral?
Biotic fanatics have hit a medical research station with a psychotropic drug. The drugs have temporarily driven researchers crazy, and the biotics are effectively using them as human shields.
So if I shoot everything that moves, a lot of researchers are gonna die.
Exactly. A normal team could handle the biotics, but a lot of innocent researchers would die during the operation. That's why I contacted you. I'm hoping you can keep the casualties to a minimum.
I'll do everything within my power to bring those researchers back safely, Admiral.
I know you will, Commander. I'm sending you the station coordinates now. 5th Fleet out.
Alright, so we've got a 5-planet system here, Genthor. Genthor is a large terrestrial planet with a thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide and chlorine. The surface is mainly composed of aluminum with deposits of nickel. Surveyors found the ruins of a technological civilization near the equator, evidently the colony of an advanced spacefaring race. The ruins had subsided to almost nothing, merely wind-hollowed husks of arcologies and other megastructures. In the center of the ruins was a single column whose inscriptions defied translation for several centuries. The Nisari linguist finally managed a translation. The elaborate relief carving said merely, "Walk among these works and know our greatness." The crude scratches on the base of the reverse side said, "Monsters from the Id." Okay, surveying it we find Matriarch's writings. Scans revealed a wrecked freighter orbiting one of Genthor's smaller moons. A recon team found no sign of life, but they did recover one of Matriarch Dillinaga's writings. Okay. Next up is Prussia. Prussia is a relatively small hydrogen-helium gas giant with large amounts of hydrocarbons in the middle layers of the atmosphere. When the Krogan rebellions ended 3 millennia ago, the Turian chief of naval operations, a distinguished soldier named Mercury, declared his immediate retirement. He disappeared into what was then uncharted territory. It was only 200 years ago that his ship was found on the surface of Prussia's largest moon. It had landed gently and been deliberately shut off. Of Admiral Mercury, however, no trace was ever found. Interesting. Okay, and Ryangri. I think we land on that planet. Sigelrus. Sigelrus is a small terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of water ice, which can be plainly seen in the bottoms of recent craters. The dark colorization of the surface is caused by a carbon and ferrous material pushed up from the denser core by cryovolcanic processes. Okay. And Antarumgan. Antarumgan is a small rock and ice planet with a trace atmosphere of methane and ethane. The frozen surface is mainly composed of carbon with deposits of calcium. Really? Mainly composed of carbon? That's kind of crazy. Antarumgan has been used as a crude anchorage for Terminus pirates for many years. The shells of temporary dwellings blasted by Alliance frigate patrols dot the surface, but always the pirates return to ground their ship's drive charges, chip out some water ice, and trade slaves and stories. The deeper layer of Antirumgun's interior are semi-liquid slush due to the presence of methanol. It is thought that the bacteria in the deep core create this natural antifreeze. Some species of Terminus pirate drill through the ice crust to recover this natural alcohol. Interesting. Surveying it, we find the light metal of cobalt. Humans cannot drink methanol though, so yeah, something else. Well, we can, but it kills us. Next up is Rangri. Rangri is a small, barren terrestrial world. While it possesses a reasonably temperate climate and a number of useful resources, no mining corporation is willing to risk investment. A rogue planetoid, dubbed VOTS by the initial Solarian surveyor team, entered the system approximately 10,000 years ago and was trapped in a decaying orbit around Rangri. It is nearing the end of its slow spiral inward. Earthquakes and cyclonic windstorms are increasingly common on Rangri. Within a few hundred years, the planets will rip each other apart. Some Asari travel consortiums have already announced sponsorships of cruises to observe the spectacle. Okay, let's land. You know what? I'm gonna bring Tali with me just in case there's some Geth here, because I also, again, wanna, like, this is part of her whole pilgrimage, is to find these Geth. And along with that, in order to kind of balance things out, let's take Rex. Alright, wow. So that is VOTS right there. Yeah, that is huge. There's no wonder these things are going to destroy each other. Okay, let's take care of the inventory and level points real quick. Okay, looking at the map, we are first going to head right up here. Alright. Titanium deposit. The light metal titanium.
You lead, I'll follow.
Next up, we are going to head over here. Here we go. Got a couple of dead scavengers, it looks like. Discovery. The burnt corpses, evidently a mom-and-pop independent salvage team, show signs of close-range hits from Geth heavy particle beams. That's too bad for them. But it tells us that the Geth are indeed here. Alright, we're now going to be heading down here. Alright, my guess is this is the mom-and-pop operations little base here, but let's see. Got a crate with 3 pistols in it. The scavengers who made this camp are gone. They seem to have abandoned it abruptly some time ago. Okay, well, yeah, again, I think this was that mom-and-pop team, and I think this crate is the only thing here. Okay, next up, we're going to head right down here. Okay, we found a polonium deposit. A small deposit of the rare element polonium. And there's also an anomaly already on our map, so let's go see what that is. What do we got here? Crashed escape pod with a medallion. This downed pod contained a League of One medallion. Its owner is nowhere to be found. Okay. Let's get back on board. We still have like 3 more of those to get. So this, I think, is the Geth outpost. So we're gonna go over here first, or somewhere around this area. Okay. Got a thorium deposit. A large deposit of the rare element thorium. And next up, this debris. Okay, we got a crashed probe. With an ammo upgrade and a weapon upgrade. Okay. So, last but not least, the Overrun Research Outpost. Here we go. Oh, man. Lot of spikes. I think we're going to be dealing with some husks in here. Alright, let's be ready. And let me pull out a gun I'll actually use here. And we got a storage locker here. With 2 shotguns and a pistol. See anything else? Yes, weapons locker. Shotgun, and sniper rifle. Okay, I think that's all on here. But I can see the husks already on the radar. Okay.
Enemy sighted.
Yep. Gotta keep checking both sides because there's no telling when Rex is gonna miss one over here. Or when Tali might miss one over here. Okay, is that it? At the very least, I think we got everything out here. There may be more further back. Okay. Let's see. Yep, more back here. Husk down. And it looks like there's now more back out in the entryway. Let's see, crate. Assault rifle, shotgun, and sniper rifle. Got another crate here. Sniper rifle and assault rifle. And a malfunctioning object with a weapon upgrade. And another crate, wow. With medium Krogan armor, medium Turian armor, and a shotgun. Let's see about that other side. It's gonna be kind of crazy if there is actually more over here too. Got a lot of computers. Malfunctioning object with a weapon upgrade. I think that's it. Oh, never mind, there's a crate. Turian armor and a sniper rifle. The Naganita 9. I'll probably end up using that. Let's see what we got going on out here. Oh, Geth this time, not husks. Boom. Here we go. Tali, why don't you go ahead and use your hacking. Not only is he fighting for us, but he's making a nice distraction for these guys. Oh. There's the hack guy. Okay. Is that it?
Negative contacts, Commander.
Well, we seem to have cleared the area, but my guess is there's more of them outside now? Because I didn't see anything in here that would indicate to me that we're done. Like, no pop-up or anything like that. Let's find out. Yep. Geth dropship. Okay, that's one down, 3 to go. Let's get back to the Normandy. Leaving behind Reangri and Gagarin, let's get up to Tereshkova. Alright, we got Antibar. Oh, this is the planet we land on. Antibar is a cold terrestrial world with an atmosphere of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of iron with deposits of magnesium. The world has been noted as a possible target for long-term terraforming. If the atmosphere could be increased to a thickness of Earth's, the global average temperature would rise by 10 degrees Celsius. Antibar's composition of low temperatures, high-speed surface winds, and low visibility make it a dangerous world to explore on foot. Okay, we'll come back. Next up is Patamalris. Patamalris' atmosphere is very similar to Venus in terms of pressure and temperature. Unlike Venus, however, Patamalris' atmosphere has a significant quantity of oxygen, both free and bound to sulfur dioxides. The surface is largely composed of magnesia with deposits of carbon. It is possible, if unlikely, that simple life may be developing on Patamalris. Computer modeling shows that the powerful solar winds from Tereshkova's stars will blow off Patamalris' atmosphere in a few million years, lowering the temperature on the surface to the negative 70s. Surveying it, we find the heavy metal of iridium. Okay. Next up, Hunsalra. Hunsalra is a small hydrogen-helium gas giant. It has unusually large amounts of nitrogen in the upper atmosphere, which glow purple when ionized by solar wind. Unsolver's convenience as a place to dump drive charge has left its orbit littered with debris dumped overboard by visiting crews. Okay. Next up, Solmarlin. Solmarin is one of Tereshkova's 2 outer worlds, significantly removed from the rest of the system, with unstable elliptical orbits. It is thought they may have formed within 3 AU of the binary stars, and were hurled outward due to the instability of such an orbit. Solmarlin is a hydrogen-helium gas giant, with significant quantities of sodium in the upper atmosphere, giving it a distinct gray color. Okay. And Mawanor. Mawanor is the second of Tereshkova's outer worlds. It is essentially a rock of unremarkable ores, with some deposits of water ice but no minerals of value. The frozen surface is composed of silica. Like the gas giant Solmarlin, it is thought that Mawanor formed too close to Tereshkova's stars and was thrown outward by the gravitational effects. Computer models suggest that it will be ejected from the system within a few 100,000 years. Okay, very cold, no atmosphere, very little gravity. Just a little dot of sand out there. Okay, actually, let's check the asteroid belt. I forgot to do that. Oh! Carbonaceous asteroid. A dark asteroid of mixed carbonaceous materials. Surveying it, we find a medallion. While scanning the asteroid field in the Tereshkova system, you picked up some anomalous readings. After some daring maneuvering by Joker, a small team was able to recover some debris from one of the larger rocks. Among the items discovered was a League of One medallion. Okay. Let's, was there another one? No, okay. Let's get over to Antibar. And let's land. We're going to start by heading way off to the southeast down here. Okay, and we have a deposit of lithium. Light metal of lithium. Okay, taking a look at the journal, that means that we are now down to just heavy metals being required. Let's get going, and we're going to head up here somewhere. One thing to point out before I head over there, you can see 2 stars in the sky, and that's because you may have noticed in all those planetary entries that Tereshkova is actually a binary star system. Now we can only see one right at the moment, but there's the other one. It's 2 stars spinning around each other as the entire system orbits around them. Alright, I'll bring you back. Here we go. Mercury deposit. Heavy metal of mercury. Okay, so we only need 1 more of those. Next up, we are going to be heading on up here. Ah! Yeah! He's down. 72,000 credits for killing that Thresher Maw. Let's see, is there anything to see actually out here? Wreckage. Discovery. This vehicle and the human corpses show the telltale signs of Geth weapons fire. The Geth have been mangled by the Thresher Maw. At least they got what was coming to them. Agreed. Okay. Next up, looks like there's a little Prothean ruin over here. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Let's recover from the Prothean ruin. Prothean data disk recovered. Searching the ruins, you discover a Prothean data disk. It may have been dropped by one of the Thresher Maw's many victims. Okay, and that actually completed that last quest there. Alright, well, I don't know where that quest is. It doesn't seem to be showing up here anymore, but it was the quest to get 7 Prothean data disks. And in honor of that, we're going to go ahead and read the codex entry on Prothean data disks. Here we go. Despite all the evidence confirming the existence of the Protheans, little is known about their culture and society. From time to time, dig sites will yield new clues, but after 50,000 years of decay, little of value is unearthed. Recent research has focused on the discovery of Prothean data disks. On their own, they are frail and rarely found in one piece. Occasionally, however, an intact disk will be discovered within a console or reading device. To date, over 36 disks have been recovered, and a few of those have been restored to the point where researchers can begin analyzing them. Though it may be some time before scientists discover a way to transfer the data off the disks, they are currently considered to be the most tangible leads for learning more about the Prothean culture. Okay, so we just finished that up. Let's get back to the Mako. And up next, we are going to be heading right up over here. Here we go, magnesium deposit. Light metal of magnesium. Okay. And up next, the debris here. Okay, here we are. Crashed probe. With ammo and grenade upgrades. Okay. And last but not least, let's get up here to the Geth outpost. Unfortunately, they've started to jam the radar, but that doesn't mean we can't just open up the map and see exactly where we are. Oh, Geth Colossus. Let's do the fun thing. Oh. Okay, it's just the Colossus now. Is there another one? No, it's just shooting little small arms fire at us. Alright. Oh, dropship.
Let's hit the next base.
Okay. Got rid of a lot of Geth here. Let's get back to the Normandy. Okay. Back to the map. Leaving behind Antabar and Tereshkova, let's head on over to Hong. Okay, Pomal. Pomal is an enormous terrestrial planet with a very dense atmosphere of carbon dioxide and sodium. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sodium oxides and deposits of nickel. There is evidence that Pomal was once covered with broad, shallow seas. Should a probe ever be sent to the surface, a check for ancient fossil life might prove valuable. Okay, very hot though, 492 degrees Celsius. Next up is Casbin. I believe we land there though, so Matar. Matar is a terrestrial planet with a thick atmosphere composed of nitrogen and krypton. Its frigid surface is mainly composed of sodium oxide with deposits of copper. Because of noxious surface gases, explorers are warned to use extreme caution. Matar lacks a magnetic field. This makes it useless for discharging FTL drive cores in orbit. The energetic particles of the solar wind from Hong strike the upper atmosphere directly, ionizing the krypton. This gives the planet its distinctive minty green-white hue. Okay, surveying it we find Matriarch's writings. Scans of Matar revealed debris from an ancient Asari freighter. Further scans uncovered a body which was brought on board. Dr. Chakwas examined it but learned nothing about its origins. Among the Asari's personal effects, however, was one of Matriarch Delanaga's writings. I believe that was the last one we needed to recover, but we'll see soon enough. Next up, Theshika. Theshika is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. In the past, it was often used as a drive-discharge point for pirates raiding human settlements from the Terminus systems. In 2178, the Alliance set up a network of covert sensing devices in Theshika's moons. Recordings of pirate FTL exit vectors over the course of 6 months led the Alliance Navy to 8 major pirate anchorages. Since the Theshika raids, no ships from the terminus have been reported in the Hong system. Yeah, I'll bet. And up last here is Triager. Well, not last, but second to last. Triager is a tiny ice dwarf with a trace atmosphere of xenon and krypton. The frozen surface is mainly composed of water ice and ammonia. Cryovolcanic processes are gradually repaving the surface with sheets of fresh ice. Surveying it, we find the light metal lithium. Okay, and Casbin. Casbin is a classic pre-garden terrestrial world, with similar conditions to those of Earth millions of years ago. Its hot, humid atmosphere is mainly composed of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. An increasing amount of the surface is covered with a simple lichen and algae. Should no unexpected calamity occur, these tiny plants should change the atmosphere to an Earth-like nitrogen-oxygen mix over the next few millennia. Due to its potential for future habitability and sapient life, Casbin has been designated a sanctuary world by the Citadel Council. Landing is prohibited by law, and any disturbance of the fragile young ecosystem will result in harsh fines and imprisonment. At present, the planet is passing through the debris tail of a long-period comet. Okay, let's land. They can tell me I can't land all they want. I'm a specter. Alright, let's get up here. Oh, gold. That's a heavy metal. Last one we need. Heavy metal, a large deposit of gold. Okay, taking a look at the journal. We have now finished that whole mineral mission, and we actually also finished the Matriarch Dillinaga's mission as well. So the only real collectibles we have left here are finding 2 more League of One medallions and 2 more Turian colony insignias. Anyway, let's go ahead and head on over to this anomalous signal. Alright, we're being shot at by what looked like a Geth turret. Okay. And a bunch of Geth armatures. Okay, let's see what we got here. Geth transmitter, deactivate. Discovery. The Geth array is transmitting regular data bursts on an encrypted channel using the Alliance's own FTL comm buoys. It's not clear where the data is being directed, nor the content of the signal. Turn it off. Okay. Next up, we're going to head down to this debris field. By the way, this planet is terrible in terms of transportation. Just awful. All sheer cliffs. Alright, what do we got here? Crashed probe. Okay, 3 ammo upgrades. Back on board. Gonna head down to this anomaly. Alright, what do we got here? Beacon. ID tag recovered. Buried under the beacon was an identification tag for Captain Thayan. There's no indication of why it was hidden here or who buried it in the first place. Okay. Next up, we're gonna head right on down here. This planet is the worst. Alright, after about 10 minutes of driving up that freaking sheer cliff, samarium deposit. Rare element samarium. Okay, next up we're gonna be heading, well, it's like right up there. More sheer cliffs, oh boy. Alright, uranium deposit. Rare element uranium. Okay. And let's get it to the Geth outpost that is already jamming our radar. Here we go. Alright, bring in the dropship. There it is. Keep dropping them. Alright, that's it. Alright, back to the Normandy. Oh, man. That was the worst. I know there's no Death Star in the Mass Effect universe, but if there was, Casbin, I don't care if it's going to be a future site for life. That place is what deserves to be the Alderaan of the Mass Effect universe. Vamshi. Everywhere is just a slog to drive straight up cliffs. Okay, 3 planets. Magi. Okay, this is one we're going to land on. Magi orbits the Vamshi binary giant stars. Vamshi A is a blue star of a spectral class A4111, which burns at half again the temperature of Sol. Vamshi B is an aging red giant of the class M5111, over 220 times the size of Sol. Magi has a thin atmosphere of methane and carbon monoxide. The difference in temperature between the hemispheres facing the suns and facing deep space causes constant wind, stirring the silica and sodium dust on the surface. Unsavory characters from the Terminus systems occasionally use Magi for forms of cruel sport, dumping slaves, hostages, quarreling shipmates, or even, when bored, vicious animals on the surface. One must kill the other before they are rescued from the lethal radiation of the giant stars. Ugh. Terrible. Next up. Wait, did I just see something else? I guess not. Pregel. Pregel is an enormous terrestrial world with an atmosphere of chlorine and ethane. The surface is mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of aluminum. No landing has ever been attempted. Surveying it, we find a Turian insignia. While scanning the planet Pregel, you discovered several marker buoys orbiting it. Chief Engineer Adams secured some high-res optical images of the buoys, which appeared to have been neglected for some time. Each one was marked with the Batika colony insignia. Okay, and Almos. Almos is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of sodium darkening its atmosphere. Okay, and back to Magi. Let's land. Alright, first up, we're going to be heading right on down here. Alright, thorium deposit. I know I already have all these that I need, but they still give us credits and I'm a completionist. Rare element thorium. Up next, we are going to be heading right on over here. Wow, that's tiny. Didn't actually see it until, like, I was right next to it. Ancient debris. Turian insignia recovered. This strange-looking sensor has some ancient graffiti scribbled on it. It appears to be marked with the Edison colony insignia. Okay, so that just completed another one of those quests. We just got the last of the Turian insignias we needed, so let's take a look at the codex entry for those. The Unification War. At about the time the Solarians and Asari were forming the Council, the Turians were embroiled in a bitter civil war. The Unification War, as it was later named, began with hostilities between the colonies furthest from the Turian homeworld, Palaven. These colonies were run by local chieftains, many of whom had distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Without the galvanizing influence of the government, the colonies became increasingly isolated and xenophobic. Colonists began wearing emblems or facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of the other colonies, and open hostilities became common. When war finally broke out, the hierarchy maintained strict diplomacy and refused to get involved. After several years of fighting, less than a dozen factions remained, and the hierarchy finally intervened. By that time, the chieftains were too weak to resist. They were forced to put an end to the fighting and renew their allegiance to the hierarchy. Though peace was restored, it took several decades for animosity between the colonists to fade completely. To this day, most Turians still wear the facial markings of their home colonies. As a point of interest, the Turian term barefaced refers to one who is beguiling or not to be trusted. It is also a slang term for politicians. Huh, very cool. Okay, back in the Mako. And we are going to be heading on over towards this debris. But along the way, we have this little anomaly to look at here. An odd skull. Discovery. This massive skull is scored by deflected mass accelerator shots. The xenobiology files in your hardsuit computer can't identify the species. It must have been brought here from an unknown world. Okay. And again, when we were orbiting the planet, we got the codex entry saying that some pirates did that. Here we go. Crashed probe. Grenade and armor upgrades. Next up, there is a mineral deposit up here. Here we go. Beryllium deposit. Light metal beryllium. Next up, right on up here. Here we go. A magnesium deposit. The light metal magnesium. And last but not least, this Geth outpost that is already showing up pretty prominently on the map here. Alright. The turrets on the road up to this thing are gone. Let's see what's up here. Jammed. Okay, we got a Colossus. Love knocking these things down.
I thought one of these outposts would be a major base of operations.
Hold on. This receiver's picking up some kind of transmission. Based on the signal strength, I'd say it's coming from inside the star cluster.
The main Geth base. Use the signal to lock onto its location and go take it out.
That's right, one more system to go to. Back onto the Mako. And to the Normandy. Here we go. Leaving Maji and Vamshi behind. Let's get on over to Grissom. Okay, Binda. Binda has a dense atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and chlorine. Though technically classified as a terrestrial world, but the surface of the planet has never cooled enough for the crust to form. That was weirdly worded. It is a global sea of molten rock. Wow. Like Zaharux, the atmosphere is being blasted away by the solar wind. Once its thick atmosphere is gone, Binda's surface will be a mere 400 degrees Celsius instead of 3151. Wow! Surveying it, we find a medallion. Scans of Binda uncovered an ancient Solarian vessel. A small team was dispatched to search for valuables. The only item of value recovered was a League of One medallion. Wow. Okay, Zaharux. I think we land there, but let's see. Nope, we don't. Zaharux's nitrogen-argon atmosphere is being blasted away by the solar wind of the blue giant Grissom. Its surface consists of seas of loose silica dust, some kilometers deep, which periodically swirl into global sandstorms. Wow! Many unmanned probes of Zaharux have been lost over the years. Though investigation has attributed all to mechanical failure or computational error, a popular extranet meme insists that the entire planet is composed of dormant nanotechnology created millennia ago by a race even more advanced than the Protheans. According to the story, Zaharux's silica dust is actually disassembler robots which periodically awaken to defend themselves. Though discounted by every reputable scientist, this theory has been popularized by the series of sensationalistic texts by the Asari author Delsey Orthsa. Scanning it, we find the light metal beryllium. Okay, and Notaban. Notaban is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of ammonia. Molecular nitrogen is present in the highest levels of the atmosphere, giving the planet its odd, violent tint. The upper levels of Notaban's atmosphere are inhabited by shoals of tiny ammonia-based life forms no larger or more complex than the plankton of Earth's oceans. Held aloft by air pressure and wind, these bioluminescent creatures constantly flee from the approach of the Terminator. Should they be exposed to the light and heat of Grissom, they die. Cool. And Sulcrum. We're going to go to Sulcrum, but first I want to search the asteroid belts. Oh, there we go. Rocky asteroid. An asteroid composed of mixed metals and silicates. The rare element of polonium found. Okay. And Sulcrum. Warning, level 1 heat hazard. Sulcrum is the largest moon of the gas giant Notaban. It has a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The crust is composed of various metals with deposits of sodium. Well, sodium is a metal. As with every body in the solar system, the surface is scorching hot and thoroughly irradiated by the blue giant Grissom. Surface excursions without proper protective gear are certain to be fatal. On approach to Notaban, Normandy's passive sensor array intercepted a fragmentary coded transmission from the surface of Sulcrum. Attempts to decrypt the message were fruitless. It does not appear to be any software coding language used by the Citadel races. Okay, let's land. Wow! Grissom is huge in the sky. Okay, let's take a look at the map. Alright, first up, this anomaly. What do we got here? A sorry capsule. Matriarch's writings recovered. There were several artifacts stored here, all worthless except for one of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings. Whether it was uncovered at this dig site or elsewhere is unclear. Okay. Next up, we're going to head on over to this debris field. Here we go, crashed probe. We got an armor upgrade and a weapon upgrade. Okay. Next up, mineral deposit somewhere over here. Magnesium. Light metal magnesium. Up next, we're going to be heading up here, past the Geth base. Okay, we have a uranium deposit. Rare element uranium. Up next, let's get on over here. Here we go, thorium deposit. A deposit of the rare element thorium. And last but not least, the Geth base. Okay, Geth Colossi. One down. There's also these rocket troopers. There we go. Oh, did I just hear something? I don't know. Regardless, let's get in there. Strange. This is not the layout I was expecting. Oop. Sounds like there's some stalkers running around. And a Geth Prime up there. Okay, still got the Prime up there. As the last Geth falls, you hear music from across the room. On the monitor, a Quarian stands before a hushed crowd, warbling a mournful a cappella of worlds and innocence lost. The recorded song is dispatched to the Geth worlds behind the Perseus Veil. The transmitter shuts off. Okay. Let's see what's down here. Upgrade kit, with a couple of ammo upgrades and a Geth terminal. You discover a number of encrypted Geth data files. In the proper hands, they could reveal much about the evolution of the Geth since the banishment of the Quarians. Sounds like exactly what Tali was after. Okay. Secure crate. Human medium armor, light Quarian armor, and a sniper rifle. Let's see if there's anything upstairs. Alright, that door is sealed. Let's see if there's anything over here first. Nothing. Okay, let's get back to the Normandy. Okay, one last thing to do before we end the video, and that is talk to Tali about this data that we recovered. Here we are.
Shepard, I need to talk to you. It's important.
Is something wrong?
You know the data you took from those Geth control nodes? The information you uploaded to Alliance Control? I want a copy of it.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet?
Those files have information that could be vital to our efforts to understand the Geth. It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
If I give you this data, your pilgrimage is over. You'll go back to your own people.
Not right away. I'll stay with you as long as it takes to stop Saren. But my people need this.
It'll take years to decipher and analyze the data.
Maybe even decades, but it's worth the time. This information will give us new insight into how the Geth have changed and evolved over the past centuries.
Go ahead, make a copy.
My people, I owe you a great debt. One I can never repay. The only thing I can offer in return is what you already have. My solemn promise to stay with you until Saren and his Geth armies are defeated.
I never wanted anything more.
Thank you, Shepard.
Okay. And that should do it. In the next video, we are going to go ahead to Pharos to take care of the last of the original 3 missions given to us by the Council. This has been the Arizlu Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.